You find out who your friends. You find out who your friends are. Somebody's gonna drop everything, run out and crank up their car. Hit the gas, get there fast, never stop to think what's in it for me. Or is it way too far? They just show on up with their big old heart. You find out who your friends are.
Good afternoon. Hello. Is anybody here? Oh, I see. Okay. Hey, Angela. Excuse me. I haven't heard from Toxicity in a bit, so I don't know if she's running late or about to come in or whatever. Hey, Carm the Frog. So, how's everybody doing? Tell me if you're okay or not. Put a 1 in the chat if you're doing good today. Hey, Chris. Good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. So, yeah, I did go fishing this morning. I caught a couple of, they have all kinds of names, but they're just really pretty little small panfish is a name a lot of people use for them. Neither one that I caught was very big. Can y'all hear me? Neither one was very big, and then I just stopped getting bites, and I left. It's just really, it's hot already. The water's cold down where I'm going, but yeah, the fish just aren't very hungry. I'm doing well, Kerm the Frog. Yes, I'm doing well. It's been hot summer already, though. What's it doing where y'all are? We're having like storms well, lately it's almost every day a storm. It feels like Florida. I know whenever I go to Florida, it's like that. It always seems to rain every day. So here, I mean, the rain's keeping it from getting so damn hot, though. I mean, it was 93 that one day I'm sitting in my living room now because I have AC in here. 100 degrees, yes. I mean, it can rain every day as far as I'm concerned in this heat. My body's not wanting to handle the heat too well, but that's what happens when you get to be old and decrepit. I got my cane. I'm going to start walking around bent over with, actually, that's not, it's not funny because it's kind of, possible. Hey, Lotus Flower, rain, humidity, and heat. My. It's summer, huh? Well, we're halfway through summer, or no, we're just getting into summer. Dang, I forgot. Like, summer really doesn't begin until June 21st. So, we're barely into summer. Can we put summer on YouTube time? Please. I want summer over. So, I'm going to put it into a YouTube channel, and it'll be over in, well, like a day or two. Where can you park your walker, right, Fruit Fly? I know. Hey, Trisha, what's going on? I don't know where Toxicity is. She'll get here when she does, I guess. She might have she was at an appointment. She might have got, you know how those things go. So I'm just going to chat. Like, I have thought, a few things to talk about. I don't want to talk about let's not bring up anybody in the chat. I don't want to call out specific, people or whatever. But I had a couple of things in my, what did I do with that? Yeah, I just had, so, 100, yeah, that's hot, isn't it? This whole fishing thing. So the other day I got a little stressed out about something I was working on. Hey, Tiffany, I just got like really stressed, and this was amazing. My first thought was, man, I need to go fishing. Like, I wanted to grab my fishing rod right then and go fishing, which shows that that's a good outlet for me. It's a good way for me with my pain to still get out of the house and get out. I'm not sitting in a chair. I'm out. I'm walking around. I'm, casting. None of that's high exercise or anything, but it's better than sitting. And so, and then you've got beauty and baby ducks and, all these things. And if that doesn't help to clear your mind, I don't know what could. I mean, a lot of people don't like nature, but I do. And I just found this really cool place that's not very far from me. And so, yeah, I'm going to find some new fishing spots. But for now, that's a standby. And, but my main thought was, wow, my thought wasn't, oh, having negative, I'm having negative thoughts about myself or, uh, having flashes, I don't want to dare mention that, I, from time to time, have these flashes because I do have some, I have issues like a lot of people. We have issues. But when I get really stressed out, normally I'd be like, well, I need to hit my not my CBD, my uh, THC actually, my medical for that, or oh, I need to have a drink, or instead, my first thought was I need to go fishing. So hey, good for me. That's a good thing. Um, yeah, I think Tiff was talking about fishing too. I think she was fishing in the ocean. I caught two little pretty fish. I didn't take any pictures today, but one of them pretty near swallowed it. Hey, Mark. Yeah, Mark, it's like one of the best things you can do if you enjoy it. Now, if you don't enjoy it, that's a whole nother thing. I have a friend who lives on, well, the river that I wanted to live on, but I didn't have the kind of money that I needed to go live on this river. It's a very cold river. It's in Arkansas, and it's, and it's trout fishing. Everybody trout fishes, and she's a guide, and she's got two grandsons. And I mean, as soon as they were big enough to hold a fishing rod, she had them, because she lives right on the river. She had them learning to you caught a log fruit fly, learning to fly fish, which I've never even done. But she takes people out, and they catch all these fish. In fact, recently she took out Ted Danson and Mary Steenburgen, because I told y'all, friend of mine is Mary's sister. So anyway, didn't mean to bring Ted Danson up, but I just entered my mind. She took them fishing. Mary caught, she's an actress, Mary is. She caught a big old, beautiful rainbow trout. But anyway, this made me think, because my friend that's got the two little boys that fish, they're really good and they're young. I think the youngest one's maybe 10 and the other one's younger. I mean, that's the older one, 10. And so she now has a granddaughter. Granddaughter barely, I mean, it sounded like she barely could get her to stand there and fish. And she caught a fish and she was like, done. So you never know if somebody's going to like fishing or not. Yeah, Mark, good old Ted. Oh, there she is. You ready to come up? Hey, Toxicity.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, I can hear. Hey, I thought you might have got held up or something.
I did. Yeah, the situation arose though. Sorry for being a little late.
Oh, you're fine.
Apologize.
Welcome to the Scoop with Barb.
I know it's my first time being on panel with somebody. It's kind
Oh
of
yeah,
I had to set everything up and work some things, but I'm here. So sorry for being late.
no worries about that. I just was talking about fishing because we said, well, we're going to talk about just what's been going on, and
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Hey,
weird.
everybody.
Did you hear what I was saying? Like I had that thought I need to go fishing instead of reaching for a crutch of some sort that wouldn't be good for me.
Oh yeah, of course.
So
Like, mm-hmm.
I was proud that that happened, and now I'll be like, well, when once it's not so hot, I can go fishing any time of the day. I don't have to get up at 5 a.m. to go fish to beat the heat. But yeah,
I know. I know. I
so
wake up so early, so
yeah,
yeah.
so tell me about that.
I usually wake up like around like 4:10, 4:15 to get ready for work. And so I'm just like so tired. And what happened right now was I was like, okay, I'm gonna take a nap before I go
Oh
on.
no.
And well, our neighbor was like knocking on our door, and I don't know, she got in an argument. I don't know, it was very odd. So she's, very young, so I was trying to help her out. But anyways, so but
So
yeah,
you
I
were
noticed that you've been fishing. That's good. I like when people have hobbies and things outside of YouTube. I always think that's
yeah.
important.
It's amazing because like I can I can be thinking about a lot of this stuff when I'm there, but
Mhm.
at the same time I can think about it without looking to see who's live or seeing that somebody went, and jumping around on all my gadgets and
Mhm.
hey Willow Blossom, howdy. Yeah, Lotus, it's been kind of ugly. A lot's been happening, and
Yeah. A lot been going on, huh?
hmm
A lot of makeup breakup.
yeah. So tell me your thoughts on that.
Hmm. You know, I always, like I said, I always try to be careful what I say.
Yeah, I
But
know. Oh, we're not mentioning anybody by name. So
yes. Yeah.
okay.
Um sorry, I'm still trying to finish up sitting up here. I'm sorry. Um yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of people are starting to show themselves. Well, time reveals all, right? So, um I don't know. I don't know what to think. I'm trying to get my thoughts together. I'm sorry. The little girl, she was crying and I feel so bad for her. So I'm
Oh
trying to get
no.
everything together. She got a thing with her brother, and I had to give her some clothes. And so, anyways, I'm a little bit
Okay.
scattered right now. So,
Well, let me tell a little story and see if you want to chill out for a second.
yes, go ahead.
Okay. Okay. So I feel terrible. This happened the other day. Whenever I was leaving I don't know if I mentioned this when I was live the other day, but oh, hey, Deb and PA. Thank you. I enjoyed making that. That took all day, but it was fun. I like to be, I like to have a sense of humor, and I do. And sometimes when you're the butt of them, it's not too much fun, but you know how that goes. Anyway, yeah, so I was leaving. So I go fishing at the dam, I've told y'all. And so if you go left, you go down, it winds down and you're below the dam, and it's kind of like a river down there. And then it's actually all a river, and so above the dam is where you enter. And there's an intersection within the park there. And so I was leaving, and this woman was in the middle of this little intersection. And to me, it just seemed really odd. There's nothing right there. There's no reason to be stopped. Her car wasn't parked right. It was just weird. And so she had her window down, and I rolled down my window and I was like, "Are you okay?" And she said, "Yeah, I've got to get to work." And there was something wrong with her, like she was having some kind of, I don't know. For me, I just felt like maybe she was having a low blood sugar episode or
Mm-hmm.
something. And then these people were yelling at me to get out of the way and stuff. And I left, and then I was driving down the road and I thought I should go back and help her. There's something wrong with her because she said she was trying to get to her office. Well, there's no buildings around there. It's out in, there's some houses near there, but there's no offices. So well, that's been probably 2 weeks ago, and I felt bad about it ever since because I should have made sure she was okay,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't. And she could have ended up, in the lake or, uh,
Yeah, you
yeah,
never know what people are going through. Like,
yeah,
you know.
yeah. And while it's not that hot at that time of the day, she
Mm-hmm.
seemed older. She might have been younger than me, but she seemed older and she seemed rattled. And so I just felt bad. I'm sure somebody helped her, but yeah,
Yeah.
next time, Lotus, I learned my lesson. Next time I won't just keep going. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think what's been happening is these neighbors have been just having like some like domestic things going on and cops getting called and um I don't know. It's I just feel bad for her, but I had to get her some clothes and some water. She actually has my cell phone, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I gotta get on with Barb." So,
Oh
um,
no, so you're right in the middle of that?
well, my husband's took over and is handling it. So that's why I was like, "Whoa." Anyways, that's why my brain is a little scattered because I was like, "Oh my gosh, I hate to see anybody like hurting like that." She had to call her mom and everything. So, but anyways, but yeah,
So
that's
they
like
were having some kind of domestic issue.
yeah, yeah. I'm not used to that. I have always been like weird, like when people even argue or anything like that. And something happened last week and had to call the cops on them. And it's just, I don't like to be like in those kind of situations and things and stuff. So,
Well, I had some neighbors at my last house when I lived in Little Rock, and they were always fighting. And
mm-hmm.
he would, like, one day they ended up in my yard with him trying to get the keys away from her. And I called the police on them a few times, and then their house ended up burning. They were renting, but it was just always something. And one day I saw her, and I said, "I'm sorry, I called the cops on y'all a few times," and she thanked me
Mm-hmm.
because her supposedly this guy was his brother was a Little Rock police cop, and they wouldn't do anything to him. I don't know if that
Mm-hmm.
was true. Hey, Clueless. I don't know if that was true, but sometimes you just have to. I could have erred on the side of caution. I could have gone and talked to her and made sure that. I mean, this other lady at the parking lot, just walked up to her and made sure. And if she wasn't
Yeah.
okay, then, I'll just, even if she didn't want to, I could have called 911. So there's usually
Mm-hmm.
a sheriff's car sitting down there when so this little highway is speed limit's 45 on it. And the very first time I ever went out to this park, I saw, and this has been like 4 years ago, I saw somebody getting pulled over. So every time I've ever been on that highway, I've always gone or tried to stay on the speed limit. And so several mornings when I've gone by there at 5 something, I've seen this deputy sitting out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just
Yeah.
don't like to get like in the middle of when like people like
Oh, me too.
all that yeah domestic violence stuff. And I don't know, you don't. I don't know. That whole thing just kind of scares me, and it's a like very dangerous situation. And I don't know. I never grew up with like a family arguing like in front of us, so I don't know. There's something about like when people argue, even in private, public, it doesn't matter. I don't know. I always just get like this weird anxiety. So I guess I got a little bit of anxiety seeing her cry because we have the Ring camera,
Uh huh.
and she was just like real close to her face was like real close to the camera and crying. And oh, I was just like, oh my gosh. So that's why I was a little shaken and late, of course. But yeah. So, but you never know, like you don't want to get
And
too involved either, because of
you don't
this.
know what's going on, and you don't know. Did
Mm-hmm.
you hear about that? That I think I don't even know how old he is now, but they found this kid who had been missing all these years, and come to find out he
Oh,
wasn't missing.
yes. Actually, that's here in Houston, isn't it?
I don't know,
Um,
but he wasn't even missing.
no, I heard that the the dad, I mean the mom was keeping him as this is, what's coming out as her husband.
What?
But here's the thing, they did a I don't know, this whole thing is so odd and so weird because at first it was like, okay, yeah, um he had somebody saying, okay, yeah, he was like um the mom was making him do, inappropriate things. And well, now today they came out and the cops are saying, oh no, that never happened. I don't know. The whole thing is just such an odd story. It's like everything is changing. Yeah. And it was like he was missing, but then he was in the house because the neighbors said that they were seeing him, around the neighborhood. And they're like, he's not missing. He's there. And so I don't know. This whole story sounds really fishy. Like, he was like 17, I think, and now he's like 25.
Penny for your thoughts says, yeah, he
Oh, let me see.
was
Sorry.
reported. Can you see the chat?
I don't. I have to look at it on my iPad. Like I
But
said, I don't have my phone. Let me see.
his mom, Trisha says his mom had him locked in the house for years.
Yes, that's what you see.
Oh,
But there's two different stories that's coming out. It's like somebody who he talked to is saying like all this, like yeah, he said this that he was, how to do like take a shower with his mom, and I mean the whole thing. And now the cops are basically saying, yeah, well, none of that happened. And this is like 8 years. It's like this guy's totally messing for 8 years. It's like, come on, like
the
I don't
cops
know.
are saying none of what happened.
The basically like he wasn't like
Held
um
prisoner.
well yeah, she was trying to say that he was like that's her husband. I guess her husband had really died or something like that. I don't know. The whole thing is just fishy. It's a very weird story. Like every day something new. I don't know. I just go sometimes through the TikTok rabbit hole and it's crazy. It really is. Read on New
Oh
National
no,
thing.
Chris, that's okay. So I
Yeah.
thought, well, maybe I should, do a live on this, and then, well, as soon as that comes out, no, because
Right, because then it's like
yeah,
another totally different story. Yeah, if you hear the live that they did, it was yeah, the cops are just basically saying like no, he nothing really basically happened to him. And I was like, what? Like somebody's lying somewhere.
yeah. Well,
Uh,
it sounds like it for 10 years, 7 years, or something.
yeah, for like 8 years. It's like that's weird. Like, come on. But yeah, I think this is here in Houston.
And they're
I
trying to
don't
say
know.
that he just showed back up after all this time.
Yeah, and then the neighbors was like, "No, like we've been talking to him, we've seen him," and that's when the story kind of started getting a little fishy. Oh, and then there was a picture that was released of him in the hospital, as they say, but that was like years ago picture. That wasn't even a recent one. I don't know. The whole thing is just so bizarre.
Wow, I need to read up on this.
Yeah, you really should because it's like how we can actually like talk about it and look at some, um, TikTok things. I can get some of the clips together because it's very bizarre story. Like it's different thing. Oh, and then his aunts, I think, came out and they were yelling. They were ticked off because they want the mom to be, of course, charged. But they're just like, oh no, like we don't have basically enough evidence and stuff to charge her. And they're like, what? Like, I don't know. The whole thing is just so bizarre.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot like coming out like throughout the day, but I don't know. I've been really interested since that story has been out. 'Cause something ain't right, regardless.
Well, what do you think about the various breakups in the community? It's been, I mean, it has been a big deal. There has been some major, like
Mm-hmm.
C and K and LL and
Mm-hmm.
um,
I just think like in a drama community, you're just gonna have that, like,
yeah.
and I started thinking too, like, do people, I guess, like, are you capable of really having friends online? Because I guess technically we're all strangers, right? We all chat. And a lot of people say, like, oh, we met some good people, some good friends and stuff. But then I started thinking, like, when you start seeing all this stuff going around, I don't know, makes you question a lot of things.
Yeah, because you can think somebody's your friend, but they're really not, and they're really
Mm-hmm.
sabotaging you from behind the scenes. But like I know you, we talk, we
Mm-hmm.
email all the time, but
Mm-hmm.
we don't. That's it. I mean, I don't know you beyond email, and
Yeah.
I know your
Yeah.
voice because you go live, and you know me because I go live. But other than that, and yeah, we talk about people, and I'm not gonna. I mean, Juror said just a few minutes ago, I was in her live when she first started
Mm-hmm.
out, and she said the same thing. We all talk shit about people behind the scenes. If you
Mm-hmm.
don't, okay, that's cool. But a majority of look, if I couldn't do that, like I need to do that. I need to be able to vent, right?
Yeah, I
And
agree.
so,
Yeah.
I have you, and I vent to you, and you could probably turn a lot of people against me because I said this about this one. But I'm sorry, but that's just, I need to talk about things sometimes, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No, I agree. I think that there's a lot of people who, um, they talk, about what they see and what's going on. And our emails are just so innocent. It really isn't really
I
anything,
know.
people would just laugh. It's nothing that we see online for sure.
No, I don't, and I've never gone nasty at anybody. I did one time ask another creator for a photo,
uh
but that's as far as I can remember. Now I do have a really screwed up memory, but as far as I remember, that's the only thing that I specifically asked for was a photo of someone.
hmm
Um, which I guess that's going, real life or whatever. I guess I messed up, but as far as I remember, that's the only thing that I've. And one time I was live, I think Jura was on my panel, and she mentioned something about a PDF, and I said, "Oh, I want to see that."
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean I was going to go do anything, or I don't know. Something was floating around the community, and I wanted to see it. Can I get a
But you
copy
see,
of
I
that?
think my view on this is like, I feel that if you, okay, like for example, like you said, you asked for a picture, but it's not like, okay, and then you realize, okay, yeah, maybe I shouldn't be doing that or whatever. So you're not just like out there continuously doing, and that's what bothers me is when you constantly see people with the same pattern, the same behavior, um, doing it, then they're intentionally, you know, out there trying to get all these little juicy things and behind like real life stuff all the time, and I think that's what I mean. I don't even email anybody besides you, Barb. So
Mhm.
uh, like I've always said, I don't really want anybody to send me anything or nothing. Plus I work so much, I'm so tired all the time, and I try to follow a lot. I have my headphones on. I do go in a lot of like lives and stuff, but I just don't have time to chat a lot of times because I would constantly be on my phone all day and I'd get no work done. you know but like for your situation, yeah, if you ask, it's not like you, I don't know, I just feel like a lot of people continuously do things with the intentions of, you know I guess a lot of people hold on to things too, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I don't know, to me that's just shady. um when people constantly do that over and over, I think there's a difference too. Like I agree, I see essays, I think venting is normal, some of this other stuff is on another level. And I agree, Willa. Like that's what I'm saying. It's like, like you have your friends where you vent. Like I get, where people do vent to one another. Um, but yeah, some of this stuff it really is on another level that I'm
Oh,
not
and
comfortable with.
and yeah, it is on another level, and it's sad because the amount of well, the amount of good we could do with our time. And I'm not saying I'm over here Miss Sweet Barb and doesn't ever do anything wrong. I'm saying us, we all,
Hmm.
if we put all of this to better use, all this time to better use. But we're
Yeah.
we're playing. I mean, I don't know. We're doing what we do, but um, it's just sad to me that we always have to fight and argue. I'm not. And then like I took a break, but I haven't
Hmm.
been gone, right?
Hmm.
I just didn't go live because I found it really difficult to do. I was in a place where I just couldn't do it anymore. And now I'm in a place where I can again, and people are like, "Where'd you go?" Well, I didn't go anywhere. I've been here.
I know you're at 8,000 subscribers. Like,
I just crossed there a couple days ago.
hmm.
And my goal, I was live the other day. I was talking about, my goal was to get to 10K by the end of June. And
Hmm.
in my mind, the whole time I had that goal, my mind was when the end of June gets here, I'm going to see what's going on and I'm going to make some changes because I'm not making enough money to support spending 4 or 5 hours a day making shorts and
Yeah.
not getting paid back for those when I'm spending money to make them. So I need to go do regular videos because at least for those I can get paid by not a lot still, but and then I want to go live because I enjoy it.
Yeah,
And
you miss chit chatting with everybody and.
yeah, and I went
Hmm.
live the other day and it felt okay. And so, then I was like, oh crap, it's been, 4 days and I haven't been back live again. I need to go live again. And that's when I emailed you. I'm like, hey, you want to go live later? Because I mean,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I'm sorry I missed your live on Sunday. I had no alarm. I was just like, I fell asleep and I stayed asleep, and I was just like, no, waking up like 4 in the morning, it's rough sometimes, you know? Um, so when you get that day to sleep in, I don't put no alarm, nothing. But
CJ, is that CJ that we know, or country?
no, the picture's different.
Oh, it's not CJ. Okay, whoever that
Hi,
is. CJ, I don't know this CJ.
Lou.
Thanks, Trisha. Well, shorts are time consuming.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of it though is finding what I want to make a short about. I could go make a short about anything, but you know, when you're making shorts, you're really trying to get something that's going to get a lot of views because it takes a whole lot of views to make a penny.
Yeah.
And so I'm just pivoting because ask anybody who tells people about how to make a channel grow that the shorts thing is dead. They're not paying us for them, so they're not going to be successful in their shorts thing because people aren't going to do it forever and not get paid.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I first started doing shorts, I watched this video. No, so the thing updated. I think it was February 1st when they were going to start paying. They were paying for shorts before in like this reward kind of system, like they would. Was it you that said somebody told me they offered them one? I think it was Amber. Amber, that's a mod for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I forgot what I was saying.
Oh, about the shorts, and they were gonna
Oh
change
yeah,
it.
so they showed this comparison of. I saw a video anyway after, and it was a comparison of these channels that had been making thousands and thousands of dollars on shorts, and
Mm-hmm.
as of the 1st of February or whatever date that was that they revamped, oh, we're going to start paying for shorts. Those people were down to making like 2,000 when they were making 30,000 the month before.
Oh my goodness.
So can you imagine? Like I'm making pennies on these shorts. I
Mm-hmm.
do like making shorts because you do get more subscribers. I mean, I do get my channel out to more people
Yeah.
than when I go do a short that's not a short. um, that's how I've been able to get so many subscribers. But those people don't watch live streams. So while I have 8,000 and whatever subscribers, they're not going to come in my live streams
Yeah, because they're coming in for. Yeah,
because
I mean, at the same time, I guess because YouTube is competing with like, TikTok and Instagram and all that, so they're trying to get all these shorts, but they don't pay anything. Like, you
mm-hmm.
know, I know they lowered it, but doesn't really matter. Yeah, so I think you going live more would be nice. And plus, like, if you change your mind and you want to do lives, who cares? Like, I
I
don't
know, like
see what's the big deal. Like,
my
it's your
God,
channel.
Barb just decided to come back right where she left. Well, I didn't actually. I've aged a little bit. I
Yeah.
probably put on a few pounds, and I hope that I'm not the exact same that I was 6 months ago, and I hope that I'm a better person today. But I don't know how much do we change in 6 months.
Well, I mean, I'm sure that, when you take a break too from doing the drama all the time and, with certain people and all that, you do see a lot of things. So I'm sure you grew in that way too.
Clear your mind a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're able to separate from that. But when people do it daily, it's toxic. It's stress on everything. And I see a lot of like anger throughout the community. There's just a lot of ticked off people. I see a lot of lives lately, and it's just not the same. It used to be just fun and a chit chat, but I think a lot of creators also became very controlling with their subscribers, and you started hearing a lot where if you're over there, don't come back over here. Now my thing is like when I hear stuff like that, it's like, how are you going to tell another grown person that? Like, to me, it's like if you tell me that, like, I'm gonna go wherever I want. Like, that's so weird to me, especially when I hear things like, if I go live, you better not go live, or yeah, just weird demands. I'm just like, that's just I don't know. That's just weird to me. Like,
Well, and
it,
there's people who will be like, I'm going to go live every time you go live so that I interfere with your live, which I got a screenshot of the other day. It's
Uh-huh.
sabotaging people with that kind of thing. Look, if people would rather go watch somebody else, that's fine with me. I'm not
Hmm. I
if
know.
and I
You know.
can't look. I grew up in a house where um, there was yelling and fighting, and it has an effect on me, and I'm not going to apologize for that. I another thing that I've been thinking a lot about is I was in somebody's chat the other day. I was listening to somebody the other day, and this particular person actually was having some empathy for somebody who right now is under fire from a lot of people. And
Hmm.
my thought was that empathy's a really good thing. Empathy is great. If you don't have empathy, then you're going to be mad and going around. If you don't have those feelings, which maybe I have too many of them, because I do have the ability to get very emotional and
Hmm.
hey, hippie chick, and to feel things really deep and to hurt over it.
Yeah.
Um, and yes, if I'm on here talking about somebody, I put myself into that. Exactly, I do. That doesn't mean that I don't have feelings and I can't step away, or that I shouldn't be on YouTube because I can't handle it. I can handle it. I just don't want to live my life in that utter chaos all the time.
Yeah. No, I know. Yeah, I couldn't do that. Like I've seen people go live for like hours and hours. And when I say hours, I'm not talking about just like an hour or two. I'm talking about like 6, 8 hours of just dragging people, of just, talking about people's body and critiquing. I don't know how they do. That's a whole shift like of work. Like that's great. You know how much you can get done in life. And I'm not saying like don't go do lives or anything, but geez, that is you are consumed with YouTube. Like that is dangerous. Like that's sick. And a lot of people, and I've said this repeatedly, like a lot of people do not have, you know, I guess any like anything outside of YouTube. I think everything needs to have a balance. And a lot of people don't have that, and it's really sad because you can tell a lot of people have a lot of hate. And it's interesting. I was thinking about this. It's like it's a lot of hate for people you've never met. And I've heard some nasty stuff. Like recently, I heard somebody say, "Oh, I don't care if that person died or something like that." And I was like, "Whoa, like that's pretty." That's some hate, like that's not good. Like I
Oh
could
wow.
never imagine saying that about. I mean, even people of my own family, I could never even say that. Like, you get in an argument, you stop talking to a sibling or a family member, but I never wished anything like that on anybody, not even my worst enemy. That's crazy to me. So it's just I don't know. You see a lot of nastiness going on, and it's just weird to me. Um,
And when we say empathy, I'm not saying I'm an empath, because I don't think,
mhm.
I really don't think you can be an empath over the internet. But empathy, like, if more people had empathy, there would be a lot less fighting on here.
But I think that's what's missing is a lot of people don't. And
Yeah.
also a lot of anger and hate gets through a lot of like it changes. Like I'm seeing and I thought about I've been writing notes because I've been wanting to also as well go live on my channel to talk about this, but I take forever putting notes together and yada yada yada. But anyways, I think I see certain people um becoming I think somebody that they necessarily don't want to be, but since they're so consumed with anger and hurt and maybe some betrayal, they are just turning into someone else. And that's dangerous to me, because then you start doing things that you would normally not do. And
Yeah.
that's like scary when you're really consumed. But you know what? There's a lot of people who do this for the money. They really do. Like they have to create chaos. They have to create the drama because really they have nothing. Like we could, if we wanted to just do a live and talk about fishing or whatever, we're fine with just having, a couple people in our chat and enjoying each other and talking. But people want hundreds of people in their chats. They want, they're like, oh, look at this in the box, and look how much I'm making, in a day, uh, because all that's just important, but they want everybody else to see that, if that makes sense. Like they want,
Yeah, I totally get what you're saying.
yeah,
You
and they're
hear it
very,
every time. I mean, almost every live, well, not every live. There's certain people that every live they do, you're going to hear how many are in their box. And I'm like, well, I put out a video the other day, short that got 9,000 views within what was it I told you? A few hours.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I also have put out shorts that ended up not getting more than 100 views ever. I haven't even looked lately at, but you know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? It's like, it's hit and miss with stuff. But if we start talking about drama and mention a couple of creators, the
Mm-hmm.
box would fill up right now.
Yeah.
And I don't need that. I don't need that. Oh, I'm not saying that it's not fun. Like, I'm not saying that I
I
didn't
know
even
what you're saying.
get
Yeah.
feedback
Yeah.
yesterday from that video. I'm getting some hate from that video I made. But at the same time, it's fun when people
Mm-hmm.
are liking what you produced and you made it and it's funny. And
Mm-hmm.
if people take offense to that, I'm so sorry. But watch Saturday Night Live. They make these commercials and stuff, and it's fun.
Yeah.
Have a sense of humor, people, please,
Mm-hmm.
please.
Yeah. I mean, I'm telling you, I really have seen a lot of hate and anger,
Hmm.
uh, going on, and everybody's just trying to one up each other, and really they're just trying to hurt each other, and they try to act like they're not hurt from, whatever's going on, but in reality it is hurt because of the way that you're acting,
And
back
then
and
you're going to
forth.
hurt somebody who
Hmm.
really didn't hurt you, but hey, I can hurt this person because they're not as mean as that person over there, so I'm going to go hurt them.
Or they justify everything that they do,
Oh, right. No, and
everything, and there's
accountability,
no
accountability.
accountability.
That
Yeah.
was another thing I had on my list.
Hmm.
If you take, and I've had people come to me because, oh my gosh, you do things and then you apologize. Well, yeah, I mess up and I apologize.
Yeah.
That's taking accountability. That doesn't mean that I just go mess up. I just go do things and that, oh, I'll just go apologize. That's not how it is.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a lot of people justifying everything that they do, every behavior. And it's like, well, they did this or they did that. And it's because, this and that. I'm like, well, you're in control of yourself too at the end of the day.
thank you.
Um,
Yes.
so I don't know. The accountability for me has been driving me a little crazy. Because, because it's like, I like when people own their stuff. And I've been seeing a lot of frustration going around that, uh, they want certain creators to take responsibility, and then you'll hear them like, take accountability for what? And I'm like, whoa, that's not good. Like, you have to ask that, because, a lot of people have done stuff, and they justify it. And that's what, when you start justifying all your behavior, you're saying to your own mind that it's okay, everything that you're doing, when in reality, really isn't. I mean, look at your life. If it's chaotic like that, then that's just say something. If you got a lot of chaos, a lot of drama surrounding you, you really have to start to reevaluate your life, you know.
Yeah.
But a lot of people can't do that, because they want to blame someone else all the time. It's easier to blame somebody because if they just go fix themselves, and we'd be a perfect community, and it's not the truth, but that's how a lot of people see it, you know.
And if they don't have any empathy, they don't feel like, I feel it when people are coming at me. So,
Hmm.
I'm going to back off, right? Because
Yeah.
I have to protect myself, and my protecting myself is not going to be to fire up a live and start screaming and cussing people and calling them pieces of what,
Hmm.
and f you this and you're a cunt, and that's not me. And
Yeah.
so my way to deal with my anger and stuff is typically to pull away and
Hmm.
just not go, not being, I barely go into live stream chats. I'll go in and say, hey, and
Yeah.
because, anything you say can and will be used against you in YouTube land. And so I just don't want to be, come at any more than I already put myself out there for. And again, I said I put myself out there for it. I'm not
Hmm.
saying I'm any innocent person.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people also who fire up alive because they're very emotional, and that's dangerous too. Uh, which is hard. When you see things going on, you want to talk and have a voice as well, but um, sometimes you need to take like a moment. Like I'm very like I like to like read everything. I like to take my time kind of studying people because a lot of things can change, but sometimes you could be like very reactive to things. And so if I went live all the time, I can imagine some of the things I would say and then regret. But there is a lot of, people who do shoot up alive because, um, of something that somebody said or what they saw, or people were chatting and they shouldn't have been in that chat. I don't know, for weird random reasons, really.
Or they're in a chat and they see something, they go fire up a live and start talking about it while it's still happening,
Mm-hmm.
and they're
Yeah.
upset. Yeah, it's like, well, for
Yeah.
me, that's not a good thing. I'm not saying that it's not okay for anybody to do that, but for me, I'm going to say things that I'm going to regret.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to exacerbate the problem rather than solve the problem for myself.
Yeah.
But some of this stuff, you're a lot younger than me, but sometimes wisdom is a good thing. And
Mm-hmm.
while I still screw up constantly in my life, I do have certain things that I've learned over the years. And quit. You're going to go live and drag us. And quit age shaming, y'all. What is wrong with
I should have.
people? God.
Oh, oh, age shaming. Oh, I don't care about getting older.
I
I
just
mean,
don't.
I think that's good. I mean, you're not getting older, and I mean, I feel like also as you get older, you get wiser, and I
Yeah.
mean, what's you? I don't even know what to say.
Like, what's my option?
I know,
To
right?
to be 62 or
Yeah,
to
that's a
be
blessing.
dead? I mean, there's all you can't go back. I don't have a DeLorean
Mhm.
time machine. I don't
No.
have, uh, yeah, Lotus Flower. Well, my parents would fight, and hey, Lulu Choo, my parents would fight, and I don't remember their fights, but I remember words because I remember that I knew these words to say when I was, junior
Mhm.
high or something. That I guess my dad, I don't know, um, I don't know who y'all are talking about. Hey, Natalie. Anyway, um, so yeah,
Yeah. I mean,
sometimes,
I just don't I don't know. I just never grew up in a household where also like we use words like that. Um I mean, it was so funny because I was talking to my best friend and I was like, "Yeah, they use like the CUNT and I didn't even know what that meant." And she was like, "No way." I was like, "I'm serious." Like when I got on YouTube and in the drama, I was like, "It was crazy." It's like people just throw it out there. And she's like laughing at me, but I mean, I just never used the word. I didn't even know what it was. I mean, it was just so weird, but people have become almost desensitized to a lot of things also, to be honest, to I don't know. A lot of things that I think a year ago would have been humongous outrage and anger now has been really acceptable. And it's like, well, it's because you don't know what that creator's been through, or you don't know, they make excuses for everything. And like I said, that just goes back to accountability. For me, it's like at some point you have to take accountability. But I think, uh, well, I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say. I'll just keep.
can you imagine though if you were, let's just say you were, I don't know, 35 years old, and
Hmm.
the kids down the street they think you're old. They're like, you're old to everybody. Kids think a 30-year-old is old.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Uh,
Hmm.
but to have middle-aged adults laughing because somebody's older than them, I mean, I don't, I don't know. I can't do anything. I can't do anything about the, my facial features or how. I mean, I can do certain things to how I look, but you know what I'm saying. You can't
Hmm.
change your physical appearance in any great extreme without. I mean, like I could put on a ton of makeup, but I'm not a makeup person. But
Yeah.
what can you do? You're. Oh,
I don't even like think of it that way. I guess it's because I love to surround myself also with a lot of older people because I learn a lot, honestly. And I love to pick their brain because they have a lot more experience, and especially like for me being in business, I love like talking to people and just like asking questions, and I don't know, I love that. So I don't see anything negative about it. So if anybody is saying anything like that, that just seems kind of odd um to say. I don't know. That seems odd. Yeah.
But I mean, some people even had me 11 years older than I am. So, what's
Oh.
funny is, I used to go when I was going live a lot. People were like, "No way, you're not in your 40s. We thought you were in your 40s. You're not that old." And I'm like, "Yeah, actually, I am." But then they start saying I'm 70 something.
Oh my goodness, really?
Yes.
Oh, I'm 40 and I'm happy being 40. Like I love it. Like
Well, I
I
mean,
love
like,
every age I've been, honestly. Like I embrace it, you know. I don't know. Like I said, I look at everything like in a business. So if talk that way, it's because I don't know, but it's just like there's a lot of there's a lot of growth, there's wisdom, maturity, and I,
retirement.
yes, and you have experience, you have stories. I love it. Like I don't know. Like I said, I love being around old. Actually, I have a group of girlfriends, and I'm the youngest in the group, and I love
Oh,
being around them. And we have such a good time. And honestly, they're like in their 50s and 60s, and you couldn't even tell. Like they actually seem to party and hang out more than I do. But it's just like, but I love being around them. So I don't see it like, oh, well, I'm 40. I'm not going to hang out with a 60-year-old. I mean, I don't see it that way.
well,
You
I
know what
was
I mean?
on. So I do this they call it the witch's brew, and it's just just women who are all in some way connected somehow to this friend of mine who started it here, and we all
Hmm.
just dress up like witches, and we meet at this at the Arlington. It's the old
Yeah.
hotel here, and then after that, so my friend's mother and I are friends also, and she's in her 70s. I left that and went with them to this bar. It's a nice place with live music. We went over there. Then a month or so later, when it was my birthday, those two of those ladies took me out, got me a birthday cake, bought my dinner,
Oh,
bought my drinks.
that is
These
so
are
sweet.
women in their 70s. I love spending time with them.
That's what I'm saying. Like to me, it doesn't, I don't know. Let's say, oh, I'm 60 and proud. Betty, are you really going to be 70? 70
Patty said in 10 years.
in 10 years.
Betty Dan Boop.
Wow.
So are you
That is a
60?
blessing.
Because well, my birthday is in 5 months from today. So that's,
Oh,
less
wow.
than a
Yeah.
year away. But we don't, when you get to be our age, you don't do like half birthdays like kids do. But, and
Yeah.
the other thing is like, I don't have older family that I'm around. I'm not around any of my family anymore. I have one aunt
Hmm.
who's still alive. Well, two aunts, one on each side of my family, who are still alive. I talked to one. Um, Her birthday is in June, and we spoke briefly. But my family just we don't. Nobody gets along, and so we just don't gather together anymore or do anything.
Yeah.
See, Mark, and see people who are out and active are going to live longer. And that's why, even
Hmm.
though I haven't been like exercising like I was and hiking and all that because of pain, going and fishing is still getting me out. And, I try to make lemonade out of lemons, right? And that's what I discovered when I got out of the deep depression that I was in. And I'm constantly trying to fend it off because it's part of my makeup, right? How do you can't just you can't have a mental illness. And why do people want to make fun of mental illness? Like, can anybody help it because they have depression and anxiety or PTSD or bipolar or personality disorders? We don't choose that for ourselves. Nobody chooses that.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's because some people have used it, in a bad way in the drama community, but I
Mm-hmm.
think also a lot of people don't talk about it because it's almost like it's almost used against you too.
Almost it
And
already it's being used against me currently, and
yeah.
I have, legitimate stuff. And here's my deal: is that I'm just on here sharing
Hmm.
myself, and if I can help somebody, then good. If it's not helping somebody, then what have I hurt? I haven't hurt you.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, Betty Damboop. But my depression could have actually killed me 100 times, because my depression also pushed me into self medication, drugs, and all this stuff.
Hmm.
So it's, I don't know. And then
Yeah.
to find out the other day, and I said this Sunday when I was live, I'm
Hmm.
going to follow up with this. There's this doctor, he's an anesthesiologist in surgeries, and he's talking about how if you have a bunch of surgeries, how it affects you because of the anesthesia, and it can cause you to be depressed and have anxiety. And here I was off of 3 major surgeries within about 18 months, and I fell into this bad depression. So I'm I'm not making an excuse for myself. I'm just saying, well, that makes a little sense.
Hmm. Yeah.
Cheryl, that's true. They broke up the old boys club. It's I found some of these breakups to be a little bit freeing for me in ways.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and I think also with like the whole mental health, a lot of people just don't even want to talk about it anymore, and it causes a lot of people to keep it in, and that's really sad. Like we live in a world like that. And like you said earlier, whatever you say will and can be used against you. It really is. Like you can be in a chat and just say one little thing and be like, I saw you over there, now you support everything that they do. It's so odd. And I'm like, whoa, like this is just nuts. But I don't really care what anybody thinks. I've always worked on myself and I focused on me, and I used to always think, well, be worried about what other people thought. And I just like to surround myself. Like that's why I got a good group of friends who are just fun and they're not dramatic. They're just, fun chicks. And I've had my best friend for over 20 years. I mean, it's just like I love to surround myself with people who are just, have a good time and you know, we could just chit chat and then we go home and I can't do this. Like I don't know how people live like this. This can make you sick, and I don't think they realize that. A lot of people I don't think they realize that.
Well, you can look up from it, and you've lost X amount of hours or days, or
Mhm.
weeks, years, whatever. And I think what was said before, I don't remember who said it, might have been you, but a lot of this revolves around money.
Mhm. Yeah.
And while I'm not trying to get rich on here, I'm spending a lot of money to have my channel, so I need to make that up somewhere,
Mhm.
or you know work from home doing something else on my computer, because I'm not supporting myself. And I'm not, that's nobody's fault. That's just not, that's why when I decided, when I set my goal, and my goal was, at the end of June, something's going to change. Either, well, maybe I might keep doing what I was doing, but I don't want to do that.
Well, you can go live more.
Yeah,
Cheryl, that's funny. I couldn't yell 8 to 10 hours
I
after the
couldn't
stroke. I
either.
I don't know how people do that. I'm serious. I have let me tell you, I have gone to sleep and sometimes I will only get like maybe 5, 6 hours of sleep or something. I'll wake up and they'll still be live. And I'm like, how in the hell can you do that? Like that is crazy. And and I know like people have, certain like different time zone, but these are not people from like the other side of the world. Like this ain't normal. This isn't okay. And like some people have to drink to like stream. You
Hmm.
know, the whole thing is just so bizarre to me. I'm just like, whoa, like this is not. I don't know. I mean, I have my own like life outside of YouTube. But if YouTube was something that I had to make money, yeah, I would you know, be on and be creative with my time, but there's no way in heck I would be on for 8, 10 hours doing lives. I couldn't. I don't even know how to talk that long. Like at some point, like I want to go stretch a muscle. I don't know, maybe go to the mall, go do
Well,
something else besides sit at my chair. You know,
well, we're also talking about people who don't probably. Well, I know some of them don't like to go out and do things, and they don't leave their chair, and they don't,
mm-hmm.
But I did see where, and Betty Boop, thanks for that. Yeah. Let me just say this real quick. Betty Boop. I was talking about Mary Steenburgen earlier. I don't know if y'all know who that is, but she's an actress. She's like 70 now, I guess. Ted Danson's married to her. I was just talking about them earlier because I know her sister. But she went under anesthesia and came out with music. Like she's been an actress, but she's never involved in music. And now she has a place in Nashville. She goes and writes music. So anesthesiology is a weird practice and very involved. I want to do more like looking into that and also I was getting other, besides the 3 surgeries, the other stuff might be different because they don't put you all the way under for them.
Mm-hmm.
And Mark, yes, anger and stress because the cortisol
Mm-hmm.
From the stress and everything, well, makes you gain weight and stuff, and it's going to cause damage in your heart and just everything. And I did hear somebody the other day saying that all this stress is about to cause them to lose their sobriety, and I almost reached out. I should email her because this isn't worth losing your sobriety.
I know.
Please.
I hate hearing stuff like that. That makes me so sad. You know.
Oh, y'all know who
Um,
she is? Mary.
I have no idea who you're
Well,
talking
these
about.
Lotus Flower and Betty Dan Boop do. She's an older.
Oh, okay.
She's older now, but I met her sister when I was like 19 in college. We had a class together, and then I was working at this bank, and her husband worked with me, and so I ran back into her again, maybe 5 years after that. And then we ran into each other again. So, I mean, over these years, all these decades, we run into each other. But I've never met Mary. I've never met the
Yeah.
actress or
I'm
Ted.
still looking at Betty's, my friend of 55 years. That's crazy. I
What?
mean, she said it's the
Oh,
best position ever, but wow, that's a long time. But
allergic to life.
mm, some people just it happens. That's so sad. You know that I think a lot of times certain things do certain things people throughout their life and they just shut down and never become the same.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that, you know,
Oh,
I
welcome,
did.
Lulu. Became a member to the
Oh,
Pop
welcome,
Fudge
Lulu Poo.
Sunday.
Thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate that. I don't have any music to play because I'm not sure I want to do that anymore, but I appreciate that. Yay. So I'm
Welcome.
gonna do different this time around. I don't think I ever did a members only live in
Uh-huh.
the past, but I'm gonna start doing those. Uh,
Hmm.
that's a way that we can maybe talk about more in depth stuff and not have it public. I know nothing is really private, so you might, hey T Adams, you might have somebody in here who's are in
Oh,
your
of course.
membership.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can't just
Hmm.
do anything in there, but um, I wouldn't do that anyway, But I'm just saying we can do that. I'm not gonna do one every week or anything like that, but yeah, I'm gonna.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah.
Oh, Lulu too. Love me or hate me, I guess. I don't know. It seems like I'm like here's my thing is you don't have to be mean to Barb for Barb to feel bad because I am my own worst enemy. And I'm not saying
Hmm.
that for sympathy or, oh, don't be mean to me. I'm just saying,
You're
I
already hard and critical on yourself already as it is, right?
yes,
Yeah.
always,
Hmm.
always. And because of my family,
Yeah.
well, when your own mama doesn't love you, it's hard to be, uh, you know, uh,
Yeah.
I've had to deal with that kind of stuff, and I'm not whining or crying about it. If you're listening, you're gonna throw that in my face later. It's just I like to share. I don't have a whole lot to share except myself, and hopefully some of y'all get me and you care about that. Obviously you do, or you wouldn't be in here.
Yeah, I think you just continue doing you, and I wouldn't worry about, what others are saying. And I would definitely not watch,
Yeah.
those kind of lies and stuff, because it's just going to, you know, terrorize you
It does
basically.
terrorize me.
And you really don't need that. Even when people have done live, like restreaming I just don't watch it. I mean, it's just, so I have no idea what they ever say, and I really don't
That's
care.
the best when I find out that somebody was talking about you and I'm like, really?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't go look at it. And then I'm thinking, well,
Mm-hmm.
so it didn't affect me because I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard not to go watch stuff, but at the same time, it's
Mm-hmm.
like, well, why do I want to hurt myself? Because and I learned this the hard way, but when you're being dragged and when you hear somebody getting dragged, it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
sound all that bad, but when you're being dragged, oh, I feel it deep. So I
Oh
don't want
yeah,
to,
definitely.
yeah. And so
Mm-hmm.
it can be funny when, oh, somebody else is getting dragged, but it's not fun.
Well, I guess because the way I look at it is I'm really just concerned of what, my family thinks of me, you know, and, and the employees that I have and stuff like that. So I don't, I'm not very consumed with it, I guess. And I'm not really worried about like that kind. So I'm not going to view a stream that's just going to bash me for hours about it, like there's okay to talk about people's behaviors and stuff like that, but some of this ain't dragging. There's some evil stuff going on
What did
these
they say?
lives, and
They
it's not
can't be saying
comfortable.
anything about you.
Oh, no, 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 just certain people that, if you barely mention their name, they want to do.
Oh, that's
You
true.
can make a 3-minute video and they'll go for like 3 hours on it. I'm like,
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
just move on, it's okay. Like, but some people get their feelings so hurt
Well,
and
it's
whatever.
like this. You got to have content. And so if you give them some content,
Mm-hmm.
so, me, when I'm making shorts, I swear there's been more days that I've spent hours trying to figure out what I was going to make it on. They don't take that long to make typically, but
Mm-hmm.
it's just finding something that clicks with me that day, you know?
Yeah.
And if I was doing drama lives, well, it'd be easy. I'd just go around and watch a few live streams and go, well,
Mm-hmm.
that bitch said that I did this.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and that's the craziest thing. It's like you do that, but I don't want to like talk about that all the time. Like it's fun. Like I rather have these kind of chats, and I don't know, because sometimes you can be on a live and you can see it, and I don't feel comfortable. Like a lot of times I'll just leave because um I don't know. It just makes me really uncomfortable lately. Uh, the drama has definitely gotten on another, you know, different level.
Betty Boop, thanks for being here. We'll
Thank you,
see you next
Betty.
time. Yeah, it's just I don't know. And it's like we could sit here, we could have 300 people watching right now.
Mm-hmm.
300 people who are the main people, which aren't that many, but you know what I'm saying? And they're not going to listen to us. So
Mm-hmm.
this isn't for them. This is for like minded people who also have an issue with a lot
Mm-hmm.
of stuff that goes on. And
Well, they got to look for their next content. They got to, okay, how am I going to bring in the money today? Um, yeah, that's true. Everyone gets mad sometimes. The important thing is what we do with the mad. That's what I say like all the time. It's like they hold on to that. And that's what happens. That's what makes it difference, you
yeah,
know? And I've even seen people like going after like bringing up children. And also like here's one thing that I found interesting. It's like a lot of people say, don't talk about me, or don't talk about our relationship, or this and that. But it's like, why are you putting everything on social media? Like, that's the reason of why I don't put really anything, like, because it's so crazy, especially in this community. Like, I've gone to other communities and they're not as bad, but when I come back to here, it's like I feel like I came to hell or something. It's crazy,
It feels like a war zone, doesn't it?
Yes, it
You
really
click on somebody and
does.
they're just going blah 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 blah, and all those blah blah blahs are cuss words aimed at people, and I'm like, there's a
And they
lot of people I can't. I mean, there's people I can't listen to. But I
oh
feel
no.
my anxiety. I feel it in my belly. I feel this
Mm-hmm.
tension and my anxiety. I'm like, Barb, shut that off. What are you doing? And like, I think it was yesterday. There was there was two lives going on at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
and I was listening to them, and I was so angry with myself for wasting like 4 hours of my day listening
Right?
to that. I was like, Barb, you could have done so much with those 4 hours.
I know. I think about that too. Like there's times, and I mean, I don't have like a ton of downtime, but yeah, sometimes I'm be like, why did I even like waste my time on that? Like I really honestly regret it. It's like, I mean, and it does become addicting. Like sometimes you're like, oh my gosh, like, wow, that's crazy. And then you go to the next live and that's crazy. But I think there's a difference between like the whole drama and then I don't know. I'm telling you, yeah, it's like a war zone, like the way you said it.
Lotus is
They could win the lottery, complain about it. I
oh, that's true.
know. They would be like, "Oh my gosh, that wasn't enough. I need to win more." Oh my gosh, I
Okay,
can't even
so
talk about
everybody
somebody.
that's in here needs to give me a $500 super chat
Oh
because
my
I
god.
want to go to the casino and it's 5 minutes away. I can get to the
Oh.
casino faster than I can get to my favorite fishing spot. And it wouldn't matter if it was raining, hot, or cold. I guarantee you, I would have about as much playing luck playing the slots as I do fishing.
Oh gosh.
No, but actually, when I left the horse races, the one time I've been in the 4 years since I lived here, I left there with almost the amount of money I walked in that morning because I lost everything at the horse races and I ate and drank and all that. And then I
Yeah.
went and then we walked through the casino as we were leaving and I cashed out at $98. So I was like, no, I'm cashing this out. And I walked over to my friend. I was like, I got to go. Because I wanted I was feeling guilty for spending $100 in a day of
Yeah.
entertainment at, the horse races, which is like like I said, I live here and I don't even go all the time. Well, COVID and all that too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, our casino like would be like almost 3 hours away. Well, it'd be
oh,
in Lake Charles, so 2.5, I guess, 2.5 hours or so.
yeah,
Um,
I wouldn't.
of a drive. We don't have any in Texas here. Well, there is one, but it's Neskilla, I think, or it's called or something like that. But it's on an Indian reservation. But
I think Lake Charles, I think you go through Lake Charles to go down to like the Gulf Coast
mm-hmm.
from here, I think. Because that sounds familiar, but I didn't realize they had. I haven't traveled in years. I didn't realize they had casino there. I just like haven't
That's
been
what.
able. I mean, I can't travel because I've got low income and I got three
Mm-hmm.
dogs, and I can't afford to board my dogs. You
I
know.
know you'd have to get like a sitter.
Yeah, I would. I'd have to have somebody stay here, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's very expensive, and well, it'd be cheaper
Well,
probably than boarding them, but
yeah, I'd rather take a vacation than just like go to the casino. Like I
oh
don't
yeah,
know, just to throw your money away. I like the experience, like all kinds of stuff, and I don't know, you
yeah.
know.
If I was gonna go spend, 10K or something, I'd take a trip and enjoy myself. And
Why you can build a really badass website.
oh, right, for 10K, that's
What are
right.
you thinking? Come
Well,
on.
I might need to. I might need it for my attorney because I had 20K for my attorney, but I spent it
Ugh,
at the casino. So now
no,
I gotta have
no.
I gotta have my.
I know it's unbelievable.
Oh,
I can't wait to see this website. I'm serious. And then she had the nerve to be like trying to tell me off. I was just like, I'm just saying how you can do it cheaper, but Lord knows. And I already had said that on my live. She ain't gonna take my advice anyways. It was so funny. I had a laugh.
Yeah, but don't you think? I mean,
That's funny.
if somebody's raising 10K for a website,
Hmm.
um, that you don't trust anyway, they're probably overestimating the cost. So
Mm-hmm.
didn't need you to be over there telling her how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Nightmare, how you doing? Woohoo! Well, Toxicity, I am getting tired. I couldn't do this for 8 hours. Maybe it's because it's so hot in here, but I am. And plus, I'm about to get myself in trouble because I don't want to talk about somebody.
Yeah, I know. Let's not do that, right? But okay. Well, it's been nice. Yeah, I'm gonna go out and check on my neighbor, get my cell phone back.
Well, everybody, maybe I can come on yours next time. We'll have a chat on your side
Yeah,
sometime.
no, that'd be good. Thank
And
you guys, everybody, for coming in and supporting Barb today.
yeah,
Been
thanks
very
for being
nice.
so nice,
I
everybody.
know, so wonderful.
Have a nice chat without people coming in and being okay. Nightmare, good. Yeah, we're just chit chatting about life over here, hitting on the hot spots. But it's like with that little lady I saw that was needing attention. I mean, I learned from that. I don't think I'll ever drive away from somebody again like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I felt like I was in danger, I would drive away. But and my thought, I did have the thought, well, what if this is some kind of setup? You
Oh,
know,
I'd be thinking that too.
I did. That was my thought. Maybe there's somebody in our back seat that's going to grab me if I go over there.
I know. That's why a lot of people don't want to help anymore because you never
Yep.
know. I've seen a lot of videos where like they pretend like they're knocking on your door and they need help and all that, and then next you know, those people are running in getting. I was like, no, mm-mm,
I had a guy
mm-mm.
come to my door a couple of days ago trying to sell me supposedly security equipment for my home. He pointed down the street and said, "The Smiths down there got it." Well, look, the people who live on my street, they're not. We're not rich people. This is a very old. Um, I'm in a historic neighborhood. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's just the people. And the way he pointed, no, those people did not buy a security system, and they're not named Smith.
Yeah, you're like, yo, I know you
There's
lying.
scams everywhere, and yeah, that I had that thought, but I could have driven over there and talked to her through my
Yeah.
car window.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
I be doing stuff like that too. I'm serious. And sometimes like it'd be raining and I want to give somebody a ride and I'm like, nope, that's the day I'm gonna get shot. I know it's gonna happen. I mean, I'm serious. It's like it's
Mhm.
crazy,
No, I
you
won't give
know?
somebody a ride though.
Yeah. I've given a lady one time. She had her kids with her into the school, but I kind of knew the kids went to the school.
Yeah,
But other than that, I would never do it again. I was so
yeah, it's
nervous too,
silly.
anyways. But but thank you so much, Barb, for having me.
Thanks for coming up.
Appreciate
It's
it.
been fun, and
Yeah.
we'll do it again sometime. Thanks
Well,
everybody for being here. Y'all be kind to yourself. Be nice to yourself and be good to yourself. And get some fresh air and sunshine if you don't already. Go out and do that. See everybody later. Bye.
bye, everybody.
Bye, Toxicity.
Bye, bye, bye.